aftermath of the presidential debate, a lot to talk about. I'm going to give you a different take on it. I think both candidates have issues. It's clear that the United States is not going to be led by anybody who has the trust of most of the American people. Now, obviously, I support Trump personally. I don't endorse him as head of a public interest group. I think he's done a good job in a number of respects. The country's disintegrating. We have to take action ourselves. That's what I've been saying over and over and over again. And I think the debate proves that. These people were either unprepared or mentally incompetent to lead this country. And that's a fact. That's a reality. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. We, the American people, must rise up and lead this country. And that's what I write about in my book, It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry. And I hope you'll get it at Amazon.com, at all major booksellers. You can pre-order it right now. But another thing that's true, and I've been, obviously very critical of Fox News, you can see that Chris Wallace did his best to attack, to ask loaded questions, and to harm President Trump. There's no doubt about it. That's Fox News. The American people need to stop being deceived. We need to sit down and have a long talk. We need to see what we need to do going forward. We need to lead, follow, or get out of the way, because neither of these people are leading this country in a correct direction. That doesn't mean that you get down to the radical left. You don't get down on your knees and beg for forgiveness. Joe Biden is brain dead. He has the onset of Alzheimer's. It's clear. You don't have to be a genius to figure that out. The president has good intentions, but he doesn't have the support of the majority of the American people. And that doesn't really matter. We can help him, and I want to help him. But we need to rise up and help him. We just can't turn on Fox News and hope for the best and be entertained. That's not the way it can work. And yesterday, you saw exactly where Fox News is coming from. Chris Wallace is the emissary. He's the golden boy of Lachlan Murdoch, who now controls Fox News. Every question was loaded, whether it was white supremacists or why didn't you pay taxes in 2016 and 2017 and elsewhere. He assumed facts as true, which the New York Times had published and other ultra-leftist publications, because he wanted to back the president into a corner. He wanted to destroy the president. The forces of Fox News allow some people to go on, Hannity, Laura Ingraham, Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson's not even really a conservative. He plays the game. I know him a long time. He's not a conservative. He's bright. But they play the game because that gets them their advertising dollars at night. And then, of course, they get their advertising dollars from the middle ground or left during the day. That's the game. So we, the American people, need to rise up. You need to support our class action lawsuit against China. Notice that there was no discussion of what you're going to do about the major damage that was caused to this country by China. Listen to even the president say that I'm waiting until the governors and the mayors call me in to take major action. He's the president. Under the Insurrection Act, he can go in now. He can nationalize the local police. He can do what needs to be done. This is something that needs to be discussed. No more political games. It really doesn't matter who the next president of the United States is in many respects if the American people rise up for themselves. And that's what we need to do. That's what we did in 1776. We had no government. King George III and his yes-men judges on the court of St. James, breaking into our houses, stealing our property, raping our women, taxing us heavily. We're back where it is in 1776. That's what Biden's going to do. And the president says, I have to wait for mayors and local governments to call me in to take action. Are you kidding me? You're the president of the United States. Or, gee, it's China's fault. You know what? Yeah, it is China's fault. So what are you going to do about it? Are you going to make them pay? Are you going to join Freedom Watch's lawsuit in Dallas, Texas, our class action, to make sure that that goes forward, give us a little push, and seize the assets of the Chinese in this country to pay for all this damage? Why should U.S. taxpayers have to pay for this? The president complains that Joe Biden is going to raise taxes, but in fact, he's taxing the American people because we're having to pay for the damage of the Chinese, and he's sitting there doing nothing. Now, why is that? Most likely because he knows, and he got intelligence, that Dr. Anthony Fauci and the Fort Detrick lab gave the seeds of the virus, the SARS virus, to the Chinese, which they turned into a bioweapon. But that's no excuse. Get it out there. The Chinese released it. They created a bioweapon. Take action. Actions speak louder than words. People are tired of words. That's all we heard last night. Words. So that's my message for today. Go to freedomwatchusa.org. Sign up for our citizens class actions. Go to americasheriff.org. That's 2 S's in the middle. So we protect the police. We have lawsuits that are going to be filed to protect them. And I already have one at Freedom Watch, at freedomwatchusa.org in Philadelphia, a very corrupt city, my native city, which has become very corrupt. And purchase my book, It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry. Because we need to do it for ourselves. And that's my message for today. God bless you. God bless your family. Stay safe. But don't rock back in your chair and wait for the next presidential debate to be entertained, if you call that entertainment. We need to do it for ourselves, as I've said many times, and I didn't coin this phrase. God helps those that help themselves. I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast. Until then, thank you for listening to me.